Hey, welcome to the NomadStream Elden Ring DLC Sculpt series. As usual, I'll be using NomadSculpt on iPad to sculpt a diorama of Messmer's fight scene. Yay! So, it's time for this massive section right here. This should be the final piece, I think. Let me see. Oh wait, I have this and the beds left. Okay. Completely forgot about the beds. But they are all smaller than this, so I think I can fix them up next time. So my plan for today is to bring everything up to this level of detail. And I'm predicting that this will take a while and I'll get bored halfway because I have a preference of jumping around areas to freshen up my mind. But this is the only low poly geometry left, so one possibility is to move on to the next step, which is going through a second pass and start refining things like the cloth. I feel like the wrinkles in the cloth, they're all just first pass right now, but the wrinkles are not really that deep, so they kind of look very clayey right now, things like that. But I think my brain will be too overloaded while working on this large flame, just based on my experience of working on the smaller ones right here. So I have my sketchbook here, and I'll probably be sketching from here time to time just to break away, but I don't even know how long I'm going to stream this time around, so maybe not. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Let's get going. Oh, but before I start, I have some exciting news. I finally got the courage to ask someone to 3D print my sculpts. Let me bring it up. So I got this image. Sorry, my hair is blocking. I got this image from the 3D printing guy. It's so cool. Like, yeah, it's just so cool to see it. Like, this is not what it's going to look like. I will have to break things up. I have to probably like make inserts of these, because I wouldn't want to print, like, let's say I would probably want to print Messmer and these separate from the base, things like that. But he was just like giving me a quote and all that, so he brought it into the printing software. And it's like, just seeing an image like this feels like it's finally happening. So, yep, that's cool. It's funny because I initially planned to reach out after this sculpt is done because of stupid feelings like imposter syndrome, feeling like my sculpt will never be finished because it's difficult for me. But the listing of his 3D printing service disappeared and I was freaking out because I don't see any public service, like any like public listing of 3D printing service in Singapore who does character resin prints like this. And it being the first time that I want to get something printed, I kind of want to have someone local so that I can get in touch with and keep in contact with more easily. So I pushed all my nerves aside and emailed him. And I was so relieved when he replied to me that he's still running the printing service and it's just down for a while, for a short time, because he's working on a personal project. So I felt like a huge weight just went off my shoulders afterwards. And why this matters, like why I want this to happen is like, well, I have something else to share on like why it matters, is that I will be participating in Singapore Comic Con in December this year. And that's why I want the sculpts printed out, so that I can display them at my booth. So that would be something really cool to look forward to. And I really hope that I can get this, like all these sorted out, so that the printing will be smooth, so that nothing breaks. Then, yeah. Honestly, I don't really know where to start. Like this is quite overwhelming. But anyway, I'm glad that I reached out to the guy because I got some useful feedback on what might break the print. So for this case, I have a few pieces that are too thin. So I think he mentioned that probably things like these should thicken up, things like that. And I think he were referring to these as well. But actually I was thinking of doing these in Blender because I don't think I can generate a random, I don't think I can generate a cylinder instance that can be repeated and angled randomly. So right now it is looking quite weird, but I will replace these in Blender. So let me hide that. So things like the wings, they're too thin, but luckily these wings are all just so like luckily these wings are like, they're all just instances of, I find it hard to say instances, but they are all copies of each other. So I think that should be, yeah, I'm not really sure whether I can just bring it to Blender and just put like a, like what's that called, like thicken sub modifier or something, like solidify modifier maybe, like just to push it out. I kind of feel like probably these would be too thin, but maybe I'll put kind of like a backing on them, maybe, because I don't think anyone's going to be like looking up into it, so I don't think the backside matters anyway. Yeah, like I like the look of this, but I'm kind of scared that it will break, so maybe I'll thicken them up. Oh, and luckily they are still tubes that are not verified yet, so I can just do that. But I'll do all these things when I'm done with this thing. So let's get to work. Oh, and maybe I'll remove these, although sometimes I forget to turn this on. So Stupid. Yeah. I feel like I don't really I don't think I need these. I'm just going to delete them because I think these will really break, and I just don't want to deal with that kind of stuff. Like this flame is already quite thin. How scared that this will break. I think the plan going forward for these. See, like I'm not really sure if I want to attach these. It's kind of like messy right now. Let me just. Okay, this is better. So like one of the things, something that I was thinking of after getting the feedback from the 3D printing guy, is that I know these flames are thinner than the others, and they are traveling quite a big distance. I think, yeah, like if you think about it, this whole section right here is going to be floating up in space. So it attaches here and it just goes up. I feel like it's probably not safe, I think. But if I attach it to this, then it will mean that I'll need to align these, like not really align, but I think I'll need to kind of like make this whole thing perfect so that it sits down into the base. So I don't want to do that either. So maybe an in-between would be to keep this separate. Keep this its own thing. And when I sculpt these, it will... Let me see. It's kind of looking weird, and maybe if I bring this. Yeah, I don't know whether that's working out. But the idea would be that I'll have some strands coming out of this that will kind of overlap with this thing, with these horizontal ones, so that they can rest on these sturdier ones. So I think I'll probably make this thicker. Yeah, I think something like this is better. I don't want to make these two shapes too similar, so I think it was a good call to shorten this a bit so that it doesn't, because previously these two were too similar to me. So keeping it shorter I think that works out. So anyway, the idea would be that this long thing is going to be supported by other parts, but they wouldn't be printed as a whole thing. I think that way it would be more manageable. I think. Well, I haven't printed before, so I will have to make some test prints, and hopefully those test prints will look good. And test prints will be done after this is done, of course, which I don't know when this will be done, but I hope that it will be done soon. So I'm just looking around right now. Just looking at what I need to fix before I start doing the details. Because it's always easier to I just remembered that I used the tube tool to, let me just do a demo right now. Oops. I find it a lot easier to just create this short tube and then I just move it around by myself. Because weird shit keeps happening. So oh, wait. Profile. I like making this kind of profile. Like this. I like to make a irregular profile just to give it some variations. And then do a twist. Increase the size of one side. Yeah, so I've been making my flames this way. And I'm not sure whether I want to do that for these. Like, would it save time? Because they kind of have shapes that are really different. Guys, I'm not even starting, and like it's really so hard. Should I do this? You know what? I think I'll just stick with these for now, because like I can't really think of anything else. So what I'm looking out for is shapes that are not so flattering. So this is too upright. I'm going to just move it so that it's more meandering. It's more like an S curve. I like this one. This one is too simple. So maybe this is all going that way. Sorry, my French is like really poofy today. So this is going that way. So I would want some to go this way. And check the 90-degree side. That's if you notice, I don't have dynamic topology on right now because I just want to move things around. So something like this, when you see, I'm not really sure whether it's this orange all the time, but if you see a different color that's more orange than the other, these usually mean that they are the inverse face, or they are facing the wrong direction. But once you turn on, it usually takes a while. Once you turn on dynamic topology, you can zoom in quite close and just smooth it out. But let's just leave it like that for now. I think this is... I don't like how rectangle this is, so I will bring this . And I think I like the shape of this. And it's going to intersect maybe. So I think, do I move this or do I move this? I guess now you see why my brain is overloaded when I do this kind of stuff. Okay, so I like the way this look from this angle. So I'm not going to change this. Okay, maybe I'll just shift it a bit. So now that is like, do I really want it to be that long? Because it might break. How long is this anyway? Oh, one thing that you can do is to select two different objects and hit the solo button right here. I have it, let me see, I have it bind to one of my keys. I'm not sure where solo is. This one. So you can bind this to any of your keyboard or something. I use it a lot, so I bind it to one of my keys that is easily accessible. And something else that I eventually found out that I needed a lot is to do a multi-selection. I think there are a bunch of multi-selection key presses. I'm not sure why there are a few of them, but I found that this one is the one that I need. So what this does, and I put that, I guess I mapped it to the same key as add subs, just because I've limited keys right here. So what that does, let me wait for auto save. So what that does is I can click on an object and then I can hold down the multi-select and click another one and click another one. So I can click multiple pieces and hit the solo key. And this way I can look at multiple objects. And it's, this is really useful because sometimes you want to sculpt things in relation to the things around it. So in this case, something like this, I can still select what I want to sculpt and sculpt on it without bringing up everything else. And once I'm happy with that, I just unhide everything. So that's basically what I do for that's what I do when I have like a shit tons of stuff to look through, and I don't want to like go to the outliner, like hide this and like unhide it again. So this is a really cool thing, and I'm feeling really warm, so I will turn on the aircon. I'll go ahead and do this again. A cool thing too is that if you didn't if you don't touch anything else, you can easily toggle like that. So this is really useful to just turn around, look at it. NomadSculpt is really intuitive, and like I love it so much. I really like, I think like in terms of UI, like NomadSculpt is like the peak. So kind of like not doing anything right now because it's really tough for my brain to process talking and doing things at the same time. But I'll try. Just do a little bit before I put my headphones on. Just walking through my process. Because if you're sculpting too, I don't know, maybe you might be interested to hear me struggle. Okay, so Messmer is in the way. Let me remove him. So like cases like how, where is he? There's too many things in my outline. So there are some like off cases where I'll just hide him completely because I know for sure that I'm not really going to use him for the placement of these snakes. So hide this. I think I'll keep the birds because these birds will be relying on the print on these to support them, because I don't think I'll be making like sticks supporting them. Doesn't make sense. I think should I do that. Does that make more sense? Wait, no, I think it makes more sense if I have kind of like, let me just quickly insert to give you an idea of what I'm thinking of. There's the insert button here. I still don't know how to use the insert button, so but I think is select this. Yeah, okay. So the idea would be to have these kind of inserts, and of course these will be like this, so it will hide that I think that's, they call it the key and cut. So I think this will work out, and then that way I can have the prints of the bird separate from the flames, I think. Because I'm not really sure whether I want the birds to be printed together. Although maybe as a display piece, like it may make more sense. I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay. Let me delete this. Delete this. Let me bring this up. Probably don't need these. these are out of the way so I can hide these. Hide these. Hide this. Okay, so I can move this a little off the way. Something to take note too is that sometimes when you're moving things, the area where you press kind of matters quite a bit. So if I press on this vertex here, it would move this more. And if I press on the left edge, then it will move that more. So sometimes I have to think about, does it look better if I move it from the left edge or the outer one? Things like that. And this is why I go crazy. So this is done. I like this. I like this. I think this is sticking out too much. And this one. So I think this one will be good to hold. That's it. But then if this breaks, then there's nothing holding it. Maybe I'll use this. Or maybe I'll look from the top and push this out. So let me where the candles are there. You know what, maybe I'll have these two support this. Let me look at where the candles are right now. It's here, here, here. What if I just stick this out like that? Like I think this will work. Because I don't want to move the candles to the left. I feel like the reason why I put this here was that I didn't want the distance between these two to be the same as this. So it's kind of like a pen. It's hard to draw straight lines when it's like so. Okay, so you can see the distance is kind of like this, so I don't want to move this here just for the sake of this flame, because it will just make this the same, and that is a no. So I think I also like the look of the flames like this. Let's say if I move this one out like that, it will kind of break the circular shape, the kind of like the circular area where it resides in. But you know, these are just things that I just tell myself so that I don't go crazy. So, okay. And also, since this is becoming its own shape, sometimes when you're working with a mesh where there are a lot of things sticking out, one of the problems that I have is that, let's say I want to move this with a drag tool, it will affect these two. So to fix that, I'm just gonna split this up. I usually split it up. I think I'll split it up around here, and this is a bit tough. Okay, make a cut. Now separate, and I can move this without affecting these, so that's great. So I think I'll do this. I think the other worry that I have is that I'm not really sure whether or not I want to print the flames separate from the base. At least this large one. For the candles, it feels more straightforward. I think the candles I may printed all at one shot. Although with the candles, it feels quite easy to keep them separate and then insert them into the base. For this large one, I feel like it's probably easier to just... Oh wait. But I may want to print them with a translucent. This is so hard. You know what? Like let's take one small step at a time. Don't think too far. Don't think too far. So let's do straight up. I'm going to give some variations. Sometimes it's nice to have this kind of variations. Actually, maybe my sketchbook might have it. Yeah, something like this. Sometimes it's nice to... You know what, it's not really showing it. No, me. Sometimes it's nice to have this kind of thing, and you can achieve this kind of spiral, this kind of twist, if you pull on the outer edges, like so. You see? So instead of like just moving it like that, I'm just pushing this out. And then that way, I think it looks better. So doing the same thing with a smaller brush, just pushing. Like you have to think of it in when you're doing sculpting, you kind of have to switch your brain. Well, I guess drawing you have to too, but with sculpting you have to think of like the depth of where the pixels, the vertices are. So I'm just affecting the front so that the back side is still here and the front side is here. So I like this twist here. I'm gonna exaggerate it by moving this. No, definitely not gonna finish this in this stream. But I found that with working with all these small ones, that these base shapes are an important step that I shouldn't skip, because it's the part that gives it life and variation. And the details would just make it look better. But if the base is shit, then there's only so much that you can do. So this, push it there. Because this is a split, you can choose to do this maybe. But then again, if I do this, then moving this will start adjusting that. So I'll put it I'll bring it down, and this one can go up because this is quite far from this whole thing. Okay, let me also think about the negative shapes when you do that. Sometimes it's easier to problem solve where you want to put things. So something like that. You push this out, push this in. Smooth this out just to I think I want these to be my chair is squeaky, sorry. I think this is interesting. So this one right here and this, it hides, I think it hides this a bit. So it's kind of like hiding this piece here. Well, I think it's hiding the fact that this piece is not connected to this. Let me just move that. And I think that is a good thing that I will keep, because it'll be easier to print this out by itself, I think. So I can print this out by itself, and this will act as the support for this. And it will still look like it's part of this because you don't see the cut. Like, let's say if I look at this angle, you don't see this cut here. I mean, you can see it like here, but it doesn't matter that way. I think what matters is that visually, when you just look at it as a turntable, it looks like one whole thing. So yeah, I think that's like a good problem solved. Then that way I can just focus on this. I can focus on how to make this as a support and not really think about, yeah. Okay. Oops, sorry, kick the table. Yeah, I think that is good. And this will hold the bird. So that's good. The placement of the birds, I mean, the birds are not even done yet. So the placements are not done yet too. I'll probably be maybe I'll be adding more of the birds. Who knows? I got inspired by the butterfly spell in the DLC gameplay trailer, so I was like, you know what, that's gonna be cute if they are all birds. Isn't it cute? So I think maybe I'll add more, but right now I like the distribution. No. Right now, these three birds kind of like look too similar in the distance between this and this is too similar. I need to move it away. It's like every time you fix something in one angle and then you rotate it and you're like, and then you fix it in that angle again and then you rotate it some more and the new problem comes out. Is that like the life of a 3D artist? Okay, so I will move this. Yeah, it's kind of a problem because now this is the same as this. I don't want it so similar. Maybe like this. Oh, it's not touching it. Maybe I'll drag this. I like how this looks, and I think it's already serving a purpose of holding this bed. So I think I'll keep it like that. And since this is going to stick out quite a lot, I will be splitting this. And just going to do dynamic topology, smooth this out. Then maybe it can go in. It goes in. Which part is it holding? It goes in and to the right. Give it some thickness, but I also don't want it to be exactly in the same line as the top, so I'll keep it in a bit. I like this, so I'll keep that. Sometimes you can get surprise, like happy surprises, just moving stuff around like this. Gonna kind of make it to like the, well, Messmer's flame is quite round. If you look at the trailer, I haven't seen the game, so, but if you look at the trailer shots, his flames have volume, so I'm gonna keep this voluminous, and that way it wouldn't break, I hope. So I think this will be good, and it's not, yeah, and it's not blocking, it's not visually it's not standing out, I think, which is always what I want. I don't want some weird stuff to stand out on its own when you're supposed to work together. I think something like that would be nice. Okay, so this, I think this countdown, like I'm going to just work on this. The base shape is, I think I'm quite happy with the, oh wait, top view. So this is done. This is done, I think. Do I like this? It's kind of a bit thin. Maybe if I just like, I'll like bump this up a bit, so that there'll be some areas where it's thin and some areas will be thicker. Then that way I feel like I should remember to remove that. This kind of looks flat. You know what, maybe I need to break this up. Let's look around and see where it's good to break. I think this is good. I think this will be like, move this away. It's a lot easier to remove these when dynamic topology is on. Just like so this. think I want to move this up like that. So maybe like that. So go up. I think it doesn't really matter because this is quite hidden. But I still want it to look good. So like that. And move this down. I like that you can see the candle from here. And I like that the negative shape of this is not symmetrical. You're gonna hear me say these things a lot because these are just the things that I think about. I think if I think too complex, like I'll go nuts. So this is here, this. Yeah, like this 2 birds and this 2 birds kind of like feel too like kind of always sucks when like it looks good here and then you rotate this and like, oh my god, it's too similar, but then it's so cute. I think I'll just keep them. Maybe they work in pairs, maybe. So let me mute the mic a bit. I'm back. So my boyfriend just told me that one of the, apparently like listening with the headphones, the left and the right side is uneven. The right side is softer. Like, I feel so stupid. There's a setting on the mic that I accidentally clicked, so I think now left and right should be even out. I really don't like audio. Okay. But let's do what I like, which is sculpting. Hope that you are enjoying your day wherever you are and whatever day it is. It's nighttime here. I kind of like to work at night. Okay, so I think I probably moved her a bit. So this will wrap around her, kind of like going up to her as she's about to attack. I can't remember that I put this this thing around her leg, and I don't remember if I moved her leg. So let me just do an overall push. This is sticking out too much anyway, so let me push this. Maybe I'll push it from this. Then push it to the left, because I want it to flow this way. I want it to flow with a curve, like not straight up. Process. Ding. I'm not even sure how I want to balance her on this. Like, do I print one whole thing together with her? Because if I want to be ambitious, I'll be printing. Oh, wait. I should be charging my iPad before it dies. No, it's not dead. Oh my god, it's dying. Okay, I shouldn't be in this mode for too long. But I want to print her wings and the flames in a different material, a different resin material, so that would mean let's see, let me think about it. It's like maybe that would be too ambitious, because if I print this and this as translucent, I would think that from like I created this connection here with Messmer's flame with the wings because I thought like I don't want the wings to be floating on its own. But then when I think about it, maybe that would be too much weight on his arm. And that might break. So probably ideally is that I would need to maybe there's something that I need to consult the 3D printing guy with. Because I was thinking maybe from what I watch on like random sculpting, clay sculpting, or garage kit channels, that you put a wire through here and insert it into the torso so that this can hold but then maybe I will need to put these together just so that they don't break. Okay, I'll stop thinking about it. It's just I'm sidetracking. Sidetrack. Stop it. Okay, this is straight. This is becoming its own thing. I'm going to split. If you're doing something like this, one of the reasons why you want to split this earlier is that the more details you stack up on, the harder it is to find an area to split. Although maybe there is a mask split option. Is there an option to split? But I don't know how to use this, so I'm just gonna do it the primitive way. I'm gonna extract this, move this out the way, like so. Then I want this. Nice. I think this can be flat. I think this needs to be split. How do I print this separate? You know what? As a first project, I mean second project, because this is my second sculpt, I think I should stop being ambitious and just I'll probably print this as a whole. I think that makes more sense, because I don't really have the experience to know what to do with printing these. Actually, let me see if I have reference of how other people do it. Yeah, when I look at screenshots of like garage kits and stuff with fire, most of the feet are separate from the flames. It's kind of like they're standing on rocks, and then the flames, which are transparent resin, will like go around them. Like I didn't think about this through before when I started on this, but it's too late to back out. So I think most likely I'm going to print this together, and that way I don't need to worry about how she's going to stand on this and all that. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Okay. I move this here. Move this there. Push this. Push that. Do this. Push this. It's all about the small adjustments. Push this, and then this can go out. Push this. You can go like this. I think this whole thing is too straight. I'll do this. I think this is holding the bird. Push this so that you can see the spear behind. Oh, there's a bird there. That's cute. Make sure that we keep this hole here. And then it starts getting hard to move things around when it's so thin. This is fine. I'll make this thicker so that it can support this. Look at the top view. Right now it's a little bit squished this way, so I have to push it out a bit. If you're not really sure why it's not touching the pants, I think I can push it out. To move this, move this. I think this needs a bit more volume, just so that it doesn't break. I guess if I'm just displaying this in my room, I probably don't really need to think about these kind of things, but if I'm going to be bringing them to the Singapore Expo, bring it all the way there, then I kind of want to have a buffer, because I can't, like, I'm a little bit clumsy. I think this shape is a bit weird. Like, why is it doing this? I don't think fire is supposed to do that. It's nice here, but then when I rotate it, it starts looking off. Maybe if I move this, and then I push this in like that, so that it's not like a cup thing. Kind of reminds me of a climbing boulder hold for the easy grades, which is where I am right now. Oh, maybe I should push it like that. Yes. Maybe like this, and then this can go in, this can go out. Ding. I kind of like the silhouette of this, but maybe I should make it thicker. Expand this. Maybe move this out. I move this out. Move this out. I'll like just give a slowly moving around different points in all angles, just to give it a bit of volume. So move this. Okay. I think this is ouch. I think that's good. Okay. So now that the main one is done, I can, what is this? Where does it end? It's getting a little hard to. Okay, let me move this out like this, so that it creates a curve, like so. I like that you can see the spear through here, so I'll keep that. I think that looks okay. I can push it out a bit. Exaggerate the forms a bit. And then push it out this way. And then keep this. Keep that. Keep this. Move it like that. Oh, that looks nice. Sometimes when I don't know what shape to do, I just push it, and it's like, this is not good. But when I pushed it this way, I liked it. So happy accidents. But then can't make this straight. So yeah, I think this looks good. The only thing is that now 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. These three are too similar in height. Something that you can do when that happens is to just scale it up. Especially if you like the shapes. Just use the gizmo tool, push it up. I think that should solve that issue. Yep, I think that looks better. Like I can still change it when I refine them and all that. These are not set in stone. So I think this is covering the bird. So I'll do that just so that I can show this through there. These need to be split. I'm not sure whether I want to split this too, but this one is too close. So I'll split this. If you are wondering how this came about, I think I probably did like a something like this. And then I just did that. And whenever I find that it's getting in the way, I'll split this off. And I'll just keep going like this. So I think this whole thing didn't take incredibly long to make, but that's also because I wasn't really looking at the, like, I was just looking at the big picture. So there are a lot of parts that are still not working out, and that's what I'm fixing today. And this usually takes the longest for me. Is it? I guess adding details is the one that takes the longest. But this takes really long too, so. It's really fun though. Like I'm really glad that I didn't stop. Not stop. I'm really glad I didn't give up on sculpting. Like it was really hard at first when I didn't know what to do, and I think I gave up like twice. Kind of like pick it up for the first time, give up, took a break of like a few years, picked it up again, things like that. So sometimes you just have to keep trying. Okay, so I think I like this. Don't stop touching that. I'm gonna make it a bit bigger because it was quite thin. Something like that. I feel like I cut off too much here. Like this should belong to that. I think. But maybe this is fine. I think I'll just do it like this. And then I'll push this down. Push it like that. Push it like this. Do I need to split this? I guess I can split it another time. Okay, I like this better now. I think this is the last one. This one. I think if I do this two is too similar. Let me make this stand taller. I think that is good. It may look like this right now, but one day it will look like this. So just need to have some patience. So like this. I think this can curve out, and like this can stay down. I feel like this too is too close. Trying to find a place to split. I think I'll split this here. I think that makes sense. Like so. Okay. This is too straight. And it's also intersecting with this. But I may cut this. Like that, maybe. It doesn't have to be this long. Yeah, I think it can be shorter. I'm gonna cut it. I don't like this part anyway, so maybe like this. I don't know if this is too straight, so I will push this here, push this here. Let me see how it looks like. I think maybe you can go up instead. You can go up. Yeah, I think up is better. Just not sure. It kind of makes a difference where you push from. Like if you push from the tip of the flame versus pushing from further in like that. So sometimes it's about just getting the practice in so that you can kind of like intuitively feel what you like more. Like the more you do this, the more it feels like you're pushing clay in with like your hands. So let me, I think that looks good. Just need to remember to make it thicker for the print. Thicker for the print. And then if you do this, yep, that looks good. Things are looking good. And now that this is shorter, I think this makes more sense now. It's kind of like a huge gap here. That's like too square. So I'll push this in. And then push this like this. Rotate. Yeah, I think it's like making a lot more sense now. It also helps to, like, at the start of this, I didn't know how to put these two together. So I just moved away by doing the others. And now that I'm back with kind of like semi-fresh eyes, I'm like, oh, I think I can make these changes. Make it make sense. So this is good. I'll push this. I push this out because I want it to turn. And from the top view, it's a bit too uniform. I think one of the reasons too of like why I didn't want to touch this is because I found with sculpting the other flames, it feels like they're not as organic as I want them to be. How like how do I explain it? Like feels like even if I put all the details in, they still kind of look too much the same. But I just need to cope with that by saying, this is my first time doing flames. This is my first time doing such a big sculpt. So I'll just turn everything into a learning process, a learning experience, and just do better in future sculpts. I think after I'm done with this Messmer sculpt, I want to do. I'm kind of thinking between Runny or Free Run, the anime, or maybe Delicious in Dungeon. I'm still thinking which one I want to do, but they're going to all of them are definitely going to be a lot simpler than this. They are all going to be chill sculpts, I think, I hope. So that I can take a break after doing this and like getting the print sorted out. Okay, let me put this. I think this. I think this kind of need to do this a bit so that it looks like a flame. And then I'm gonna rotate 90 degrees and just push it. I think there are too many going this way, so I think this was the good choice. You know that I'm done with that. I'm gonna bring everyone back. Come back. Bring them all back. So that, I think this one. Oh wait, let's save. Okay, the grain is not that bad. I think it was 39% just now. Now it's 35. I was kind of expecting it to be on 20% right now. So sometimes I do this turntable just to watch it and see if anything sticks out to me. Okay, something that sticks out to me. Let me stop this. I think these two are too similar. They're both doing the same thing. And I don't really want that. So maybe I'll do the bottom one. Oh, that looks nice. I'll do the bottom one and just push it. Just make it thicker. I don't know if there's this evenness. I need to fix this. It's like such weird shapes going on. Push this and make this thicker, but then that'll be too straight. So I'll push this. I don't have a formula of how to go about making these. It's just all about what you feel looks nice to you. Just have a few rules, like no straight lines there. I'm gonna push this. You know what? Maybe I'll just pull this out, push this in. I think that's it. Let me push this up so that it's more like this is quite thin. Man, these are going to break. But I'll think about the thickness another time. Now it's just about fixing what really stands out to me. Is it better now? I think this is too straight. Yeah, I think it's better now. Something I didn't know at this beginning. I was looking at the turntable and like, how do I make it turn left or right? Well, it's just here. Negative means that it will turn the other way. And sometimes that is useful. Like, sometimes the vibe of the sculpt feels different when it turns the opposite direction. So I'm watching. I think this stuck out to me. So I just push it up. I feel like these two are quite problematic. The other side was, this side was a lot nicer to me. But maybe it's because they are like really different. Whereas I chose to do these two kind of like the same length. And sometimes when things are the same, have like similar properties, somehow I tend to sculpt them to samey. But I think, besides here, I think if I push, this, can I push this like that? Maybe like this. Push it back. Yeah, I think that's better. So I just want to break this part up when I rotate this a little bit out. I think, I mean, the shape is not final, but the kind of like the vibe that's giving, I think that's good. I think I should check the top. And I think the top is fine, because at certain angles the wings are blocking the view anyway. I just realized that this one is not being supported by anything. I kind of want this to point towards the spirit summon. But then maybe that's not a good choice, because there's nothing holding, nothing. And I like the shape of this. Let me hide this. But maybe I can push. Maybe if I push it, just let me try push it this way. Maybe if I push it that way, I can place it on the floor, and then that's fine. I think then it can support itself. Just need to hide this because this is blocking. So I think if I push this, if I push this, nudge it slowly push it closer and closer to the wall, the floor. Because I don't want to lose the details. Okay, then I push it this way. Still not touching. Just have to. I know that in the last stream I said that I want these to be thinner, but I also don't want these to break. So it's better to just break the rules a little bit. I mean, the rules that I set for myself. Okay, so if I push it like this, if I push it like that, I think, and then we zoom out just to see. Oh my god, it's making symmetrical shapes. Maybe if I push this so that there's more contact to the ground. I push this down, push it this way. Just noticed that this one doesn't really have a lot of details, but that's fine. We can add it another time. So I think this is done. And hopefully I fix the problem of, oh, let me move this. Still not making weird noises. Okay, so I think this way, if I just put this way, when I print this out, ideally it will connect here, and then it will just rest on this point, and hopefully that will hopefully that will support these parts. And yeah, I think that would be great. And the only thing is that okay, I think I'm also not sure whether I want to print the flames out. Like maybe if I want to print the flames, I need to push them all down so that they're just one geometry. Yeah, maybe that would be fine. Because right now these are definitely too thin. The flame will just break off. So I think for the printing, at least for bringing it to Blender to render and do lighting rendering, I'll keep it like this. But for the printing purpose, I'll remove the thin strands and then push all the flames down. I think that would be good. Yeah, I'm gonna take a short break, and well, it's getting late anyway, but I'll take a short break and do the rest of the sculpting with my headphones. Let's have fun. That was a good break. If you're interested in drawing, this is, I haven't tried a lot of pens, but this is one of my favorite. It's the Zebra F.402 ballpoint pen, 0.7 millimeters. And what I like about this is the grip is really comfortable to use. I can like draw hours on end using this. I think there's some pens like maybe like this, the default Muji, where there's no rubber grip. I find that I just find the rubber grip really comfortable to use. So if that's, yeah, and I think this is cheap from Amazon Singapore. Maybe it'll be cheaper elsewhere. Dang. In general, when I draw with the pen, how hard you press will determine how dark the pen. I think this cartridge is also ending soon. Oh my god, you open this. I think this one's almost finished, so I think the ink flow is a bit less, I think. Like I noticed that once I reached this portion right here, once this was finished and I went down to this, I found that the ink flow was less, and I found that a lot easier to control with. But this ink groups quite a bit, which is something that you have to keep in mind, but you can use it to your advantage. So like what I like to do is to kind of like look when it starts scooping. It's a bit hard to see with this camera. Like, I mean, the focus plane is not here. But I think it's pulling quite a bit over here. So you can use that to your advantage. Do you see how dark this is? So that's what I did with, that's also what I did with these. That's our focus. Let me see this, but yeah, it's more in focus. Well, that's what I did with these. And so with this, if you just draw really lightly here, you can kind of push things to the background, and then the darker ones will pop out in the front. It's a lot more straightforward to explain than to actually draw them. But if you have this pen, you can play around with it. I really like it. So I think I'll just try and work on the main one. I'll try and work on this and call it a day or night. And listen to my music. I'm gonna break the silence here, just because maybe this might be an interesting thing. So how I make the patterns of the flames. And I think this has been working really well for all the flames. So it's one of the, I guess, workflows that I created for myself. So let's say there's this area here where I want to put the details. I don't just do like the same lines going down like that. This is too not too neat. Like thinking that was not messy. So what I like to do is to overlap things. So this edge here doesn't have to go this way. It can go like that. This way I exaggerate the movement of the flames, and also it wouldn't be like, you know, just straight down like that. And when I establish this line, after I establish this line, I can choose to do the same thing for one line, but I can also do like a line coming out from underneath. I guess a simpler way to think about it is think of like hair braids. Kind of like they overlap each other like that, but do it really messy. I did the same thing here. This one goes here. This one follows this. It stops here. This one comes out and overlaps this. This way you can create variations. Right now it's too straight. I'm just gonna, which way do I want to push it? Maybe this way. Also, using the drag tool is really good for just creating a lot of detail, just squishing things together. Something like this. Immediately it feels a lot more, I mean, I hope so. Yeah. And I'm going to shut up now and keep going. gonna end it here. Have a good night.